Hello, Cluster Algebra 2 kids. It's been about a week since I've taught you guys, so I really want to try to finish the most important things that I can in Algebra 2 that will make you at least better than your peers. And you're going to be better than your peers anyway because you guys are in the math cluster. So here we go. We're going to talk about dividing polynomials. So let's just get started. No, you're not going to see my face today. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and I don't look right. So now let's get started. So example number 1, these notes are in Schoology if you need to look at them and follow along. So we're talking about dividing polynomials by monomials. So we're going to do that first. Now notice when you're dividing by monomials. So what we're talking about is a polynomial just is an expression with more than one term. A monomial has one term. So here, this is only one term. The easiest way to do that is just to separate each numerator's term and make fractions out of them. So this is what I'm talking about. And so then just use your rules of property of exponents just to simplify each fraction. So for example, if I'm looking at 5a squared b over 5ab, I can cancel 5a, I can simplify b over b, and I'm just left with. And what you would do is you would do that for each fraction. So how did they get 3b squared? Because 15 divided by 5 is 3. A's cancel. 3 minus 1 gives you your 2. And then so on. So it's just properties of exponents, which you just learned. So that is our answer, and that's how simple you would do that. So in your check your progress, I want you to go ahead and pause the video here and you guys try it yourself before I reveal the answer. All right, 3, 2, 1, we're back. Let's reveal this answer. So the answer is B. Now, most of the time, the mistakes that I've seen is kids always pick A. Well, why is it not A? So when I break this fraction down into its 3 parts, 3x squared y is my first fraction. Well, that just doesn't disappear. If you had 10 over 10, wouldn't that equal 1? You can't just say it's 0. No, it's 1. So that 1 has to be there so I can get the term back if I was ever to multiply my answer times my divisor. So that's why that's 1. In the other terms, we can just look at that as simplifying by properties of exponents. I don't want to talk too much about that because what's important is what we're about to do next. Okay. All right, so we got to go back to 3rd grade and figure out how do we learn how to divide. So I'm going to make a simple math problem, 8 into 541. And so the first thing you would do is go, well, how many times does 8 go into 54? Well, the closest thing you got is 48, right? So, well, that's 6 times 8 is 48. So let's write a 6. 6 times 8 is 48. Now, once we did that, remember we multiplied. And remember these exact steps because that's what we're going to need. And so here we used to subtract, and we go 54 minus 48. Oh, that's 6. So we would break down to 1. And then we would say, oh, okay, so, all right, so how many times does 8 go into 61? Well, the closest thing to it is 7. So I can write 7. 7 times 8 is 56. And 61 minus 56 is 5. And so I have 5 over 8 is my fraction. Now, sometimes some of the teachers did not teach you or you don't remember that you could take the remainder and make it the numerator over your divisor as the denominator. That's going to be important for us for you to remember. But remember this, the multiplying and subtracting that we just did, because we're going to use that with polynomials. All right, so here you go. It says use long division to find x squared minus 2x minus 15 divided by x minus 5. All right, so this could have also been written as a fraction. So please understand that you did not have to write it like this. You could have written it like that. That's the same way. So just understand that. I cannot treat this like I did the first problem because I have two terms. I have x minus 5. That minus sign came in there separating my two terms, my x and my 5. So I cannot separate it as fractions. Cannot do that. So let's go ahead and use long division. So we're going to go and we're going to go old school here. So I have my long division problem. I set it up just like I would do in elementary school. So the first thing you ask yourself is, well, what am I trying to figure out? What am I trying to get here? So what you want to do is look at this first term and compare it to this first term. So in your mind, think, okay, I got to get to x squared. So x times what would give me x squared? You go, oh, an x. You're right, it will. So then what did we do in our other problem? We multiplied. So we took that number that we put at the top and multiplied it to that right there. So we're going to go x times x, which should be x squared, and x times negative 5, which should be negative 5x. So what we did was we did that. We took that x and multiplied by x minus 5 and got x squared minus 5x. So now we're going to do the subtraction that we did in our other problem. So we're going to subtract, we're going to divide. So now, we're not divide, we're subtracting. So x squared minus x squared, that first term should always, if you did your math right, that first term should be 0. So let's look at negative 2 minus negative 5x. That should be a 3. It looks like that. Because the negative and a negative will turn into a plus. So it'll be negative 2x plus 5x, which is 3. Now what was in the other problem, we brought down that 1. So we're going to bring down that negative 15. Now we're going to go back and ask ourselves that same question. We got to figure out, how do I get this 3x back? So x into 3x, well, what would I need to get 3x back? A 3. You can also think about it as its own little division problem over here on the side. Well, what's 3x divided by that x? It's a 3. So we put 3 and we do that multiplication again. So we have 3 times 3x and 3 times negative 5, we get negative 15. And so we still subtract. Oh, that's the proof that we did 3 times x minus. That's the math over here. So we're still going to subtract, and this time we get a remainder of 0. So our answer is, or our quotient, and the quotient is the answer to a division problem. The quotient is x plus 3, and the remainder is 0. So now our next problem that we're going to see on our next slide, I want you to try yourself before I actually do the math. So stop, pause right here, and do the problem yourself. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I hope you tried the problem. So now let me do it and let's see what the answer is. So we get x plus 2. All right, so let's do it. X plus 3 divided by, well, x squared, I said that wrong. X squared plus 5x plus 6 divided by x plus 3. So what do I need to get x squared back? I need an x. X times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. That is subtraction that I have to do. So x squared minus x squared, gone. 5x minus 3x, 2x. I got to bring down that 6. So let's see. What will it take to get 2x back? Oh, 2. It's a positive 2. 2 times x, 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. I get a remainder of 0. Also, I'm gonna pause there. I was about to say something, but it's gonna make the video too long. I'm already at 8 minutes, 9 minutes. So this is gonna be a long video. Just can't help it. All right, so here I'm not gonna discuss this problem too much. I just want you guys to realize that this is a division problem because of that negative 1. So they're just asking us which expression is equal to this. Well, they simplified it by using division. And so I'm over this problem because you can see it clearly in the PowerPoint. The biggest thing I want you guys to get here is this part right here. When you see a negative 1, that means to go to the numerator, to the denominator. It's a division problem, not numerator, but I'm going to take it down to the denominator. So this gets turned into that. That's the biggest thing. So since you can see the math here, let's do the problem, our example problem. Okay, so we're going to skip. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. So let's do this problem. So you guys, I'm going to set it up for you and then try it. So because of this negative 1, it's really saying this. it is a division problem, and then I can cancel this out. And so then I can set it up, x minus 3, x squared minus x minus 7 divided by x minus 3. So pause the video right here and you try it yourself. You should get a remainder. Let's see if you do. All right, so we're back. I'm going to do the problem. So x times what gives me x squared, and then I multiply back, minus 3x. Watch your minus signs. Watch those negatives. X squared minus x squared is gone. Negative x minus negative 3x. It's a positive 2x. Bring down that 7. Well, what do you need? I need a 2. A positive 2. 2 times x. 2x. 2 times negative 3. Negative 6. And we're going to bring it down. Subtract negative 7 minus a negative 6 is a negative 1. Well, how would we write that? And before we start, let's go ahead and cancel out answers that don't make sense. See, we got a remainder, so we know that's gone. Also, we got x plus 2, so we know that's gone. Did we get a remainder of negative 1? We did. And if I look at the way they wrote D with a positive 1, and they wrote B with a negative. Our answer probably is B. It is B. So you take your remainder and turn it into a fraction. So you take the sign that they give you and you put it over your divisor. And that's how that answer is. Okay, so this video is at 12 minutes. So I'm going to stop and only have one more example to do, but the video is going to take too long and too long to process. So I'm going to pause the video here and stop it, and you guys pick it up in the second video. Thanks.